Welcome back to another episode of I Don't Know What to Call This YouTube channel. I'm your host, Lex Isham, and today's video is Glamping 101. So for anyone who's new to this channel, my name is Lex. I'm 27 years old, and within 5 months, I've started a 6-figure glamp site next to the Grand Canyon, and this is how I did it. Welcome to Glamping 101. So let's first start off with the definition of glamping. The definition of glamping comes from the combination of two words, glamorous and camping. Oxford actually defines it as a form of camping involving accommodation and facilities more luxurious than those associated with traditional camping. Its origin is early 21st century, a blend of glamorous and camping. Glamping is basically an elevated camping experience. So instead of the typical camping tent that everyone knows of, glamping is more of a fixed structure that a host has put up, such as an RV, an Airstream, a tiny home, a yurt, a Mongolian hut, with more of the luxury amenities in it, such as power, water, septic, memory foam mattress, a mini fridge, a stove, etc. So basically, in layman's terms, it is a cool-ass structure on a piece of land that gives a guest a cool, unique experience. So in order to start a glamp site, you need 9 things. I will talk more about these 9 things in later videos, but they are education, location, land, structures, amenities, permits, dream team, listing, automation. I'm going to break down all 9 of these in later videos, but these are the 9 things that you need and that are imperative in order to start a glamp site. The first one is education. First, being educated in what a glamp site is. So watching this video, for example, is a great way to start. You can also look at a bunch of other YouTube channels that talk about glamping, but learning about the glamp space in general is part of education. And then the second part of education is research. Researching the other 2 through 6 steps that I'm about to lay out, but a lot of it is researching what is allowed and what is not allowed in the location that you choose. So that brings us to the second step, which is location. This is important because you either want to choose a location that is a drive-through spot or a destination location, which is a national park, a national forest, a destination city, which is a ski town, a lake town, etc. So basically you want to have a glamp site that people are already going to that area for, and that they can just stay at your glamp site when they are there. The third is land. You can either buy, rent, or land hack your land, but that is the third step. The fourth step is choosing your structures. There are Airstreams, RVs, tiny homes, yurts, Mongolian huts, basically any structure that is permittable and unique. We'll talk about the uniqueness later, but the more unique, the better. The next one is amenities. I call it PSW, which is power, septic, and water. Figuring out how you are going to get those utilities onto your land. You got to figure out how to supply those amenities in your glamp site. Following that is permits. Once you have your structure and your land, you are going to need to permit your glamp site in a conditional use permit, or permitting it commercially, or permitting it how I do it, agricultural residential, which is kind of a hack and which I will talk about later. But that next step is permitting, and that within the city jurisdiction, you're all squared up and paying your taxes. The next one is your dream team, which is your cleaners, your handyman, and if you need one, a property manager. That dream team is very vital. The next one is your actual listing, which incorporates your listing channel, which is Airbnb or VRBO, and then also incorporates photos and copy. And last one is your automations. This is where you automate your prices, automate your messaging, automating your reviews. Automation is a huge part of starting a glamp site because it allows you to take a lot of the daily tasks away and computerizes it and algorithmatizes it, which is great. I'm not sure if algorithmatize is a word, but I like it, so we're going to stick with it. Leave that one in. So a great reason to start a glamp site is because you want to get into real estate. You want to build up your asset column. However, you can't afford to buy a rental property or a home, so you start with a glamp site. So let's talk about me for a second. The reason why I started a glamp site was because I have never been W-2, and I own my own creative agency, but I'm 1099. So to get loans is very hard for me. So a glamp site was a really good way to get my foot in the door in real estate without having to get a loan from a bank for a home. So a little side note here, it was actually November of last year when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad and realized that I wanted to build up my asset column. In order to do that, I wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to funnel my money from earned income into passive income, all my earned income to create more passive income. I wanted to get into real estate, but obviously not being on a W-2 is very hard to get a loan. So I saw a YouTube video and I decided to start a glamp site, and it has been the best decision ever. We are now profiting 5 to 6K a month per unit, and it has built up to a 6-figure business within 5 months, which is awesome. So the biggest part of this whole video is I have developed 4 axioms of glamping. They are true statements. They are laws about glamping that will not change, and they will be true forever. I hope I don't put my foot in my own mouth, but these are the laws and the axioms that I have found true about glamping. The first one is unique experiences will always win. I want to repeat that again. Unique experiences will always win. There is an actual correlation between the more unique, the more profitable you will be. The less unique, the less profitable. That is pure economics. The more supply there is, demand goes down because there's an influx of the same product. Same thing with glamping. The more unique, the higher probability that people will come and stay at your glamp site. The second one is good service always comes first. This is a glamp site and we are in the service industry. Good service triumphs everything. Next one is glamping has a snowball effect. The first one is always the hardest. After that, it gets easier and easier. The first one is by far the hardest. Once you get over the hump of the first one, getting more units is a piece of cake because your rental money will start paying for more units. The last one we were going to talk about in this video is creativity is necessary. Whether it's creative financing, creative decor, creative photos, creative listing, doesn't matter. You need to be creative. If you are not creative, then partner or pay someone who is creative. Creativity is necessary. That is the last axiom we're going to talk about in this video. The next part are the negatives of creating a glamp site. The first negative would be that it is not traditional real estate. You're not going to get the appreciation, depreciation in a glamp site that you are going to get from real estate. In traditional real estate, you get appreciation and depreciation and cash flow. The only thing you're going to get when creating a glamp site is the cash flow. So cash flow is king, and you're going to cash flow really, really well, but you won't get the appreciation and depreciation of traditional real estate. The next one is that it could be really daunting and hard to start. I'm not going to downplay how hard it is actually to start. I'm actually going to rephrase that. I don't think starting a glamp site is hard. I just think it's a lot. Which brings us to the last part of who is the perfect person to start a glamp site. The perfect person to start a glamp site is a creative, detail-oriented doer. That person needs to get tasks done, as I said, and they need to get them done quickly, well, and creatively. If that describes you, then I think you are the perfect person to start a glamp site. And I hope that this video has helped lay out the foundation of what a glamp site is, the overview steps of how to do it, and the axioms that glamp sites have. Saying that, that is all we are going to talk about in this video. So the next 9 videos are going to be the 9 steps in how to create a glamp site. So head over to step 1 education. See you there.